Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl D. Today I am going to do a story time. I was like, okay, it's been a minute since I've done a story time, so let's get to it. As you guys know, I have 4 children, and I had natural birth with 2, and then I had epidural with the other 2. So today I'm going to talk about my natural births with my 2 other children. Okay, so my first son, well, not my first son, but my second child, which is my son, I gave natural birth to literally almost in the house. This was the year 2000 and how the hell I forget the year? This was the year 2009. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, that birth was the one that literally scared the shit out of me, okay? So, I remember, all right, sorry guys, the night before, I kept telling my mother, Mom, I'm having contractions, I don't feel right, I think I need to go to the hospital. Now, mind you, at this time I was living with my mom. I was going through some issues and stuff, so I was staying with my mom for a little bit. So she was around too when I had my first child, and she kept telling me to wait, this, that, and the third, even though I wasn't living with her. But she told me, like, just wait till your contractions are close apart, and this, that, and the third. So this time around with the second boy, she was saying the same thing. So I'm literally on the downstairs floor, and I am telling her, like, Mom, like, my contractions are close. They were not hurting that much, but they were definitely there. But they was, like, more frequent. So I was telling her, like, Mom, like, please, can you take me to the hospital? And she was like, no. And so you hollering, screaming, and looking like you ready to, push that baby out, then we're going to go. Because I think we had, like, 2 scares already, but we got sent back home. So, oh gosh. Yeah, so my aunt took me to the hospital. She called my aunt. My aunt came and picked me up. And we went to the emergency room. They checked me, and I think I probably was about 2 centimeters. And they was even telling me, like, okay, you having contractions, but they're not strong enough, and you could be 2 centimeters now, but you can literally give birth like next week. So we're gonna send you home. And I was furious, okay? I was furious because I just felt it in my soul that this baby was ready to come out, okay? So we went back home. I was like, okay, let me just go get something to eat. And I got some ravioli and tuna fish. That is so disgusting just thinking about it right now, but that's what I was craving. I ate that, and then I took myself to sleep. Woke up in the middle of the night, went to the bathroom, didn't pay it any mind. Then I went back to sleep, and then around 7 o'clock, I think my mom was getting up, getting ready to go to work. And 8 o'clock, my sister was getting ready too. So literally 8 o'clock on the dot, I kept running up and down the steps to go to the bathroom. I just felt like I needed to, do number 2. But nothing was coming out. So the last time I sat on the toilet, I was like, oh shit, like this is the baby. Like I knew it. I was like, this is the baby. And I literally couldn't stand up. So I literally like fell on the floor, and I'm hollering, I'm screaming, I'm calling my mom. I'm like, Mom, Mom, Mom. She's like, what? So yeah, I'm like, the baby is coming out. The baby's coming out. So she like, what? So she panicking. My sister, like, she crazy. She just went downstairs to go finish getting her food and all that. And I'm like literally crawling through the hallways. And next thing you know, I felt real hot. And y'all know when you're about to throw up before you give birth, that baby is coming. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. So I threw up everywhere, all up the upstairs floor, on the carpet. And I know it stunk because I had that tuna fish and that ravioli, which was disgusting. And it stunk so bad. My breath was like bawling, okay? So I'm like hollering and screaming, and I'm running in her room. I'm jumping on her bed. I'm like literally climbing up the walls and scratching her walls, yelling from the top of my lungs. My neighbor heard me and everything. She's like, Deshira, calm down. So she gets the phone. She calls 911. They tell her what to do. They tell her to, lay me on my back. We tried to do that. I was not having it. Like, I couldn't keep still for nothing. Now, mind you, I had an epidural with my first son. And I didn't really, feel contractions like that bad. So I was unprepared. I did not know what I was supposed to do. I did not know that I was supposed to breathe through them. I did not know what they felt like at that extreme when I'm like literally like 8 centimeters. I think I was like 8 centimeters at the time. So I'm just freaking out. You know what I mean? I'm not breathing. I'm not catching my breath. I'm just panicking. I'm thinking for the worst. Okay. Because that was not in my plan to give natural birth. So, yeah, I'm scratching up on her walls, and next thing you know, the ambulance people, they came in, the ambulance, however you pronounce that, they came upstairs, and they was like, can you walk? And I'm like, no. Next thing you know, I'm feeling my vagina, and I'm like, the fucking head is coming out. Like, I'm screaming from the top of my lungs. So they dragged me out. They put me on a stretcher. I had no pants on. I got in the stretcher, and they had my legs down, and they was telling me, like, do not push. Whatever you do not push. But I needed to push, and I still wasn't breathing right. I kept feeling like I was about to pass out. It was a inner, outer body experience. Like, I can never describe what it felt like, what that felt like at all. If you have given natural birth, you know exactly what I'm saying. It's something that you just cannot explain. Someone literally have to go through that situation. So we get to the hospital. I don't know how the baby is still inside of me when I can feel the baby head crowning in my vagina. So we get there, we get on the elevator. I'm scratching the nurses. They like, stop scratching me, please, and all. And I'm like, bitch, if you know what I was going through, like. So they put me in the room. It was like a whole bunch of people in the room, doctors, nurses, and everything. Next thing you know, they just was like, push, 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 and I could not push no more. I was tired at that. Okay, I was exhausted. So my mom, my sister, and my oldest son, they came in the room. And next thing you know, I felt like I fainted, but I know I didn't. I just like did like that, and next thing you know, the baby was like, and just flew right out, literally. Like, just I felt it flew out, and then I felt my soul flew out too, like, for real. After that, I was like so exhausted that I couldn't even hold my baby for a few hours. I needed some time to gather myself because my body was still in shock. I couldn't believe that I gave natural birth because that was not in my plan. I couldn't believe how much pain that I was going through. Yeah, so that was my story with my second son. And not trying to scare you guys, but if you're not prepared for, natural birth, sometimes it could be traumatic. But I do have a good story about my last daughter I had now, which is Mia, and I chose to have natural birth. Okay, so before that I had an epidural with my other daughter Chloe. So the last one I had natural birth, just because I had complications with the epidural with Chloe. So now we on Mia. Oh God, I was like, okay, I'm a strong, courageous woman now. You know what I mean? I grew up, and I said, this pregnancy, I want to do everything different. I want to do everything where I can feel and feel strengthened as a mother, So I said, I'm going to do natural birth, okay? And I was going to breastfeed. So I done it all. I did it this pregnancy, okay? And it was amazing. So the night that me and my husband went in to have Mia, mind you, we've been in and out of the hospital for months, okay? Mia been trying to pop out since like 7 months, okay? So, we went to the hospital. I was about, I think, 3 or 4 centimeters or something, 3 centimeters, something like that. So they was like, you know what, we're not going to send you home because we know in the past that your deliveries are very fast, and you know, we don't want the baby just come on right out. So we see the baby is down there, the baby is ready, let's get the baby out. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So we get there, we wait in the room, still like 3 centimeters. So I'm like, is there anything that y'all can give me so it can like speed up the process, you know? So actually, and then at this time I was in my last week, or I was like a week late or something like that. Like, and it was crazy because we was like, okay, she's gonna come early. She's been trying to come early since 7 months. So they gave me some medicine to pump the contractions up, forgot what it's called. And then they kept pumping it up, giving me more doses through the IV, and it was getting things moving, you know. So within like an hour of the medicine, we went in the next room where you go deliver the baby. And then I was like, all right, is it a way y'all could turn it down, because I feel like, you know, it's working fast. So he was like, oh, sorry, baby, well, we can't, you know. So I'm like, oh, what did I get myself into? What did I do? What did I do? Okay, I couldn't stop it. And then the next thing was my water bag was not breaking. For some reason, my water bag never breaks. So they had to break my water bag. And when they did that, when they broke that bag, it was over, okay? They left out of the room. They broke the bag, left out of the room. 5 minutes later, I was telling my husband, like, babe, the baby, I feel like the baby's about to come. So he's like, what? So he calling a nurse and he telling them to come back in. She feel like the baby. They came in, was like, no, she's okay. She probably got about like an hour or some change. She's like, not 8-9 centimeters, something like that. Next thing you know, I was screaming from the top of my lungs, okay? I opened up my legs, and I didn't care what they say. If I had to literally push the baby out myself, I was going to do that. So I open up my legs, and then the doctors start coming in. I think they start calling out the doctors, and then my husband, I don't know. I didn't even look at him no more, because I'm just like, you did this to me, you know, at this point. So, yeah, they telling me, okay, let's get ready. Let's push. So this happened real fast, okay? So we're pushing, and everything in my body, oh my God, I felt everything, literally, but I felt it in a different way. I felt it as though I wanted to feel it. I accepted the feeling. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was still nervous, but I'm like, okay, I am doing this. I have to push. I got to go through that ring of fire. I got to go through that pain. I can do this, okay? So I'm doing my breathing techniques, so that I learned online through, you know, from the first time I knew I was pregnant. I've been watching all the breathing techniques, so I was like practicing that. I was grunting and getting all my emotions and feelings out. I don't care how ugly, how sweaty, how crazy I look, because I look bad. I think this was the the worst I looked out of my pregnancies. I looked real bad. Yeah, but I'm like, I'm holding on to the bars, and I'm like I'm hawking it up, okay? Yeah, my husband, they like, push, just push, keep pushing. And then I did freak out one time when I felt, you know, that ring of fire, when her head was coming through a little bit, and I panicked. So I kind of like shut my legs, and they're like, no, open your legs. And then I'm like, fuck it. So I open my legs, and next thing you know, I'm like, that big scream, that last scream, when y'all know that baby head and shoulders and everything is coming out. When she came out, my whole body said, phew. Like, once again, I felt like I collapsed, but I know I didn't. And I just hear this little baby crying, and I'm like, what? I'm like, you out? Like, I looked up, and I'm like, oh my God, you out? Like, and little crying, and crawled up on me, and just latched on to the boobs and all that. My husband was just like, oh my gosh, like, because with our other daughter, we had an epidural, that kind of felt, but with this one, he, you know, that was his first time experiencing natural birth, and I was always getting him prepared for it, you know. But oh my gosh, it was a wonderful, amazing experience. All my births was amazing, like, and beautiful in its own, in each and every own way. So in my other video, I definitely will talk about the epidurals, and how one of them did fail, and you know how good the other one was, from the first child. Yeah, so that's my natural birth experience. I do not want to scare any of you ladies out there. So I'm telling you, just try it, just do it. It's the best thing ever, natural or epidural. If you're giving birth, it's all beautiful, you know what I mean? So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will do more story times. Yeah, like I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed talking about this. So if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video. I really appreciate you guys. I love you. Thank you. See you. Till next time. Love you.